Probably doesn't take much for a mortgage officer to redo the pre-approval. So if, for instance, you're looking over several months, I know of a friend that it took them 6 months to go from selling their house and living in an apartment to finding the house that they made an offer on and purchasing it, closing on it. But it's probably pretty easy. Once you've completed the pre-approval process the first time, it's just a matter of renewing that. I don't know what the internal process would be.
I mean, and there's two, verbs, or two terms: pre-qualification and pre-approval. And so, usually, someone in that area, they're just, when they first walk in, they want to say, "Number one, do I have the potential of getting qualified?" And that's the pre-qualification process. And then, even if you got pre-approved and didn't use it, the lender usually has on file all your information, and they'll have to resubmit it, which means they're going to repull your credit. They're going to redo it all, but most of the things aren't going to change, we hope, and they resubmit it. And there's an electronic, without getting all the details, but there's an electronic thing that from Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac that they use to kind of give us this yes or no for the pre-approval. And so, yes, it's pretty easy for the lender to go back and redo that.
But also, on the other hand, just be careful. At least in this market, things are moving pretty fast. It's kind of booming out here in Phoenix. What you said is true, but at the same time, if somebody's approved, I would go ahead and try to find that first-time home if they're looking for that within that period of time that they've been pre-approved for. Because again, things are cyclical and things change pretty quickly. With government programs like FHA, we don't really know when things are going to change. We don't know when rates are going to change, go up or down. We don't know. So if you're serious about buying, you've been pre-qualified, and then you get pre-approved, I would recommend as a real estate agent to let's get on the ball, let's find your home, and let's make your dream become a reality.
Absolutely. And just an example with FHA, not that we're recommending FHA, but as an example, their debt-to-income ratio, one of the major things looked at getting pre-approved. Right now, today, at this moment of recording, I want to say it's like 50+% of your debt-to-income ratio, which is just nuts. But as of June 3rd, it's going down to 43%, which is better, and it's still too high from a net income standpoint. But credit score requirements change, loan-to-values change, and we don't know what's going to change. And some things take a lot of change. Some things change pretty fast. And so, yeah, if you've been pre-approved, you're going to buy a house, then yeah, I would say you don't want to sit on that too long.
Right.
Which was one of the mistakes that I made when I was doing my first home buying. I know that a friend recommended, and this is classic, don't be careful who you listen to for financial advice. Absolutely. They said, oh, it's fine if you got as much as 70% of your net take-home pay, 70% tied up in debt payments, you'll be okay. You can make it.
Wow.
And I was a school teacher. I mean, so it's not like I'm I don't know, somebody that's making a lot of income and you've got a lot of disposable income. Sure. School teacher. 70%. Wow.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because one of the unfortunate things is a lot of lenders today, everything is so automated.
Right.
Even if they have a good heart, well, we want to get you this deal, and they don't think about that 41% gross debt to income is you net 54%. There's a story, that I heard about this, in a small farm Iowa town of $830,000 home that was purchased 20 years ago. So who knows what it would have been worth today? And the guy pulls up two brand new, awesome luxury vehicles, and they're going in. Wow, this looks awesome. This whole house is awesome. They get to their kid's bedroom. Nothing. No crib. No nothing. Well, what's with this room? We can't finance anymore. And I bring that story up because a lot of lenders, even the ones that mean well, they're going to max out what you can borrow.
Right.
And just because it says you can borrow 150 doesn't mean go find 150. That means that's the most the lender is going to do. And I know you guys have other conversations about take-home pay and those things, but the last thing you want to do is get wrapped up in a house where you can't afford date nights with your spouse, you can't take the kids out for a pizza or a movie, or you can't have any furniture. So one of those questions when you're going through is this the maximum I can borrow? Great, but that doesn't necessarily mean go do that, because if you do that, that house that was going to be a blessing is going to be a nightmare. And I can tell you from first-hand experience, it stinks when more than one paycheck it takes to pay the house.